All right, everybody, welcome to the evening session. Just got back from my run to Home Depot and ready to go for another period of time here. Just a reminder as I start this session, uh, I am not a financial expert. Uh, Investments come with their own risks, and you should do your own homework about making investments. And this is for educational purposes only. Thank you. All right, so kind of had one fairly successful crazy trade earlier today. Uh, and since then, it has been kind of not a whole lot going on. So let's see if we can get the energy rolling this evening. Let me get all set up here. The format is once again where I am talking for the first 7.5 minutes, and then I'll be in trading mode with my mic off and just focusing on trading. So, welcome to the stream. This is mostly for the folks who will watch this uh, later on the replay, but there might be a person or two here already. Hello, welcome, and let's get this session started. Until somebody shows up, I'll probably be in music mode and being in observation mode and watching the market and seeing where we're at. So as soon as people start showing up, I'll come back in and do some chatting.
Just a little, take me along the way. Won't you visit? Won't you stop by to stay? I'm a better man with your love than without. In the sea, may never make it out. And in the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. I'm sick
Howdy there, Edger. Do we go up? Too early to tell. Too close to start off here. So we're this is the first market of the evening for me. So I'm just kind of getting settled in, noticing what's going on. Don't have a lot of room from the strike at this point. And so for my strategy, this is not appealing at the moment. Getting more appealing though. Okay, getting significantly more appealing. All right. So we're going to do just 5. Got all the way up to 87. I think I'd be happy with... I'm going to hold a second here, see if I can get a little bit better price, maybe. 725. 8, about 50 away from the strike. Okay, rising, that'll be a better price. If it rises too much, I'm not interested. 288, 283, kind of stable around there. All right, we're going to try 85, see if we can get in there. Okay, so we're in there. Now we're going to do the take profit, which, yeah, we'll just do 99.9 for now. We'll see how things go. My stop loss, boy, might come in real fast here. I think right now it's 325. 320 probably. If we hit 320, I'm out. So normally I don't do talking during the trading session, which is for me the last 7.5 minutes. But since we're just starting the stream here today, and we had a question, I thought I'd come in. And Surge is back. Thank you, man. I really like your channel. Thank you so much. I'm just getting started, but I really appreciate that. I'm back to the old order books because as of right now, the other one is overwhelming to me. I don't know what's going on. So I don't think I need it. I don't know. I'll have to check it out a little bit more when I have some time, when I feel like it. It could be helpful, but really all I need to know is what's the CF benchmark's price, how much time is left, how far away from the strike are we? That's all I need. I don't really need, and if it gets too close, I got to get out. That's all there is to it. And if it goes to take profit, fantastic. So, starting to look better on this one. And yeah, so normally I don't talk through my trades, but since this is the first one of the evening and we got some new people in the room, I thought I'd come on. my plan tomorrow is to record a video with this strategy that I'm using right now, kind of hopefully laid out in a complete form, like the comprehensive guide. And based on things right now, I'm going to take profit. It was only 50 cents, but it's a good way to start the evening, get the ball rolling. And it's a little tenuous. Probably not a bad. I probably was okay, but I don't know. I just had a feeling it's hard for me to trade while I'm talking, so I might as well just get done. So, welcome for another evening. The Cushmaster's here. Thank you so much. What is that order book? I know the TradingView chart, but never seen the order book here. Is that specifically for Kalshi orders, or what is that exactly? So what we're looking at is a website called TapeSurf, but what we're looking at is the Coinbase order book in real time. But they allow you to look at Binance, Kraken, Coinbase. I just try to keep it simple and not overwhelm because I don't need it. I don't need it that much. I don't even need the chart that much for my strategy. It gives me some kind of general sense, but it's not really necessary for my strategy. So I have it on the screen to just see where the trends are, see where we're at overall, but all I really need for my strategy is the white box, that's the CF benchmarks real-time price, real-time index, and the clock on Kalshi and how far away from the strike we are and what the price is currently on Kalshi. That's really all I need. And then I got my stop loss ready to kick in if it gets too close. So I'm picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, as they say. I'm taking the high probability wins and scalping the last 5, 10, 15 cents. And getting out, having a stop loss in place to make sure I limit the damage when it reverses on me. So I tend to like, specifically when it seems like a pretty sure thing, there's a lot of distance between the strike or the target and where we're at, I don't even start until 7 minutes to go. So not every market is for me. I'm pretty picky and choosy. I'm online doing this for 6 to 8 hours a day. So, and the goal is to make 5%. Ideally, a good day is 10%. Anything more than 10% of my portfolio is wonderful, exceptional day. So I pick my battles. I don't mess around. Once I got profit, I start raising my stop loss. And I'm just, as they say, picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, trying not to get rolled over. I've noticed. Oh, go for it, man. We'll keep it quiet. Oh. I've noticed trading these 15-minute BTC trades that the Kalshi price info seems to lag a bit from the actual price, like I see my position value change a few moments for the actual price movement. If you pay attention in this stream and you watch the white box price, that's the real-time index for CF benchmarks, which is what Kalshi uses. But you're right, the chart lags behind that. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Neighbor stopped by, so I had a little conversation with him. Um, is that a Kalshi issue or is my computer just too slow? Now, if you watch the CF benchmarks, that'll be almost instantaneously connected to price changes on Kalshi. So that's the price to watch. The Coinbase order book can sometimes lead or lag. It's just one of the exchanges that the CF benchmarks price is based on. Okay, I've been trading a bit lately. I'm at work now, just on break. Gonna subscribe. Thank you. And spend some time with you on nights I don't work, so I can peep the strategy and profit with you too. Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate the subscription. And yeah, off to off to a start tonight. A win is a win. But anyway, my strategy does really well when by 7 minutes we've got a pretty fair amount of distance from the strike compared to how volatile the market currently is. So based on what I'm seeing, I'm interested at a $50 spread. That's a reasonable amount away for me at 7 minutes. So it seems like we've got fairly good conditions at the moment for my strategy, and we shall see how it goes. I'm really working on. I've been tempted in recent streams to be a bit more aggressive to try to be entertaining, which is no bueno for my bankroll and for my mental health. So I'm really working on sticking to the strategy, being conservative, and really just sticking to if I'm not confident, staying out. If I'm like pretty confident but not like super confident, I'll do 5 contracts, which is about right now about 2.5% of my bankroll. And then if I'm more confident, I may do, or the price is even higher, like 94 cents or something like that, I may do 10 contracts. But at this moment, that's kind of where I want to limit things. I kind of got out of control with 20 and 50 and $100 contract or 100 contracts last night. And if that goes south, it just puts me in a bad position. There's no need for me to do that. That's not the strategy that I have. Mine is to be patient, to size my bids based on my current bankroll, and to be patient. That's probably the biggest thing for my strategy. So that big old lead is disappeared. Back to 50-50 with 10 minutes to go. And there's a good reason why I generally just don't even get in until 7 minutes, because it's like I just saved myself a whole bunch of stress, and it's too far from the end to know what's going to happen. I've in 15 minutes a lot can change. So all right, I've got some more stuff here. The Cushmaster says, I had seen the price go down one time, and the Kalshi up kept rising it. Let me see here. Keep rising it. This was on the last couple seconds when it did go down on Kalshi as well. It might be my connection, not too sure. No, it takes a while for the graph, which is kind of an average of 60 seconds. So the most recent 60 seconds, that's where that dot is. But the real-time price is what's driving that dot. So even though the price can be different, you also have to keep in mind that it's based on that little dot. So if it gets close to the end, even though the price may scoot to the other side, the ball might not have time to get back across the line. So that is a good point and something to be aware of, that it's when it comes down to the end, the graph does matter. And I've seen it be down to just 1 cent at the 000 mark. Just like to the point where you don't know which side won until they tell you. And that is a definition of a market I would want nothing to do with. Exciting, but not so great for my bankroll. Or my stress level. All right, so the format here is me going silent at 7:30 to go. So I'm going to do that, and I will be back once this trade is complete, or I pass and move on to the next one. All right, so that's the kind of plan of attack for tonight. Is yeah, most of the time 5 contracts. Getting 50 cents. Maybe $1 once in a while, maybe 25 cents, but just kind of a lot of piling up of small victories tonight. That's what we're kind of low stress. Not trying to do what I did last night and get into an epic battle of survival with with Kalshi. Oh man, that was rough. Anyway, yeah. So let's see. Check the chat here. I appreciate 9 of you being with me. If you want to give the stream a like, that would be great. I appreciate that. We've had I think we're into our second week now. I believe maybe halfway through our second week of streaming 6 to 8 hours a day. And we've already made quite a lot of progress on building community and sharing strategies, lessons, information, and just a place to hang out and hopefully get better. I think I've got the phrase. I think it was Brian earlier today kind of gave me part of this, but it's like slowly but surely wiser and wealthier. Like, that's kind of the mantra. Slowly but surely wiser and wealthier. And that's what we're striving for here. So yeah, off to a mellow start. A couple, you know, pretty low stress markets in a row. I would call the last two ideal, like exactly what I want. Like give me like 7 hours of that, and I'll do really well. So last night was rough. It seems like you've come back. Oh man, I got to tell you, bud. I was up until 4 in the morning. So after I ended the live, I said to myself, well, I ended on a loss in the live, a aggressive loss that I didn't do a stop loss on. It was just bad. And I thought, well, let me get it back. Okay, you can see this is leading to bad stuff. But I'm looking at the chart and it's like it's over the Bollinger Band. It's over 70 on the RSI. Everything I know about reading the charts and all that is like it's got to come. There's a down coming. Like there's definitely a down coming soon. So unfortunately, I was up against some entity of some kind or multiple entities that decided, hey, in the next 3 hours, we're going to buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. And so the price just shot up and kept going up and didn't stop and kept going up and up and up and up. And, I'm like watching my whole thing just fall apart. I'm like, what? Like, this has got to come down eventually. Well, it did, but I didn't make enough back, so I had to stay in longer. It kept going like that. 4 in the morning, I finally get the down that like brings me to back to profitability for the day. And I'm like, man, it was just a great lesson for me. It's like I don't know how many times I have to learn this lesson, but like it's a great lesson that like that's not the strategy to not have a stop loss and then try to make it back up and then go all in, super stressful and like, I'm just yelling at the computer. I don't yell, but like, I'm like going to the computer screen. I'm like, quit it. Stop. Why are you buying right now? Like, it's like at one point it was 82 on the RSI. And I was like, why would you buy right now? Like, it's like this thing is going down, and then as soon as that buying spree ended, it did start like dropping like a rock. And that's what people were commenting on this morning. It's like, oh, did you see how much it dropped? I was like, yeah, I was there for the other end of it. Like, so anyway, I don't know how many times I got to learn that lesson, but I guess maybe that's the last one. That frustration is why I've taken a break. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't like to do that. I want to get better at not doing that. And, maybe you guys can help me be accountable. I think by speaking it out loud, I'm helping myself not not do that. And by starting the live with like, hey guys, I'm just gonna be pretty mellow, and I'm gonna stick to a small amount of contracts and just rake in small profits over and over again. Uh, that might help to just set the stage for expectations for what the people are gonna see, and so I don't get it in my mind that like, let's do something, let's blow everybody away with this trade. Like, wow, that that's a recipe for disaster. Watch this, like that. that's that's got no good stuff on it. Yeah, I mean that's half the battle, right? To be aware of like the weakness or the tendency to where your weak points are. And I think it's very common for all of us when we lose to try to get it back. It's a bad feeling. It feels terrible to lose. And it's also easy to like hold on to a position too long because you're like, oh, it might bounce back. It might bounce back. Both of those things are like the enemy of a successful strategy. And I know that. And sometimes the best thing to do is put the computer down, turn it off, walk away, and like, you know, enough, no more. If you can't, be sensible and follow your strategy, uh, you know, I really should have something wired into my computer that's like when it sees me like eyes, when my eyes get big and I'm like, ooh, like it should send a mild shock into my arm, like do not do it. But anyway, yeah, resets are amazing. It's good. Split your streams into multiple sessions. Yeah, that's helpful for sure. If I sit here all day, I'll be, really unhealthy really fast. So I like doing it. I like splitting it up. I didn't expect to talk this much, but the numbers, I mean, just people stick around if I talk, and people don't if I don't talk. So I think I found a nice balance with that as well to just say, hey, I'm not really doing anything for the first 7.5 minutes, and I'm usually bored anyway. Like, so this is the perfect time for me to chat, see how everybody's doing, check in, talk about stuff, answer questions, and then just go into laser focus mode. Don't even look at the chat, like, until I start engaging in the trade until I'm done with the trade, all focus, all hands on deck. So yeah, I think I'm finding a nice balance with it. I will say the stream this afternoon was hard because I was up till 4 in the morning. And I woke up. I'm like, I'm doing another stream right now. Like, but it's good to be consistent, and ended up having another really good live with 10 new subscribers and all that. So, and it really is meaningful to me to have somebody new show up, ask a question, and be met with an authentic, complete response. I think people aren't used to that. Of course, it's unusual in this world. Uh, Everything's so fast, and everybody's busy, and they got stuff to do, and they don't have time to explain this and that. But I'm the dude that does have the time to explain, and is happy to, and so it's fun. It's fun to engage with people that are new and see how appreciative they are about the interaction, and like it's like, oh wow, it's great, thank you so much. And it's like, hey man, it's absolutely my pleasure. I love providing space for people to just chill out and hopefully improve themselves. And in a capitalistic world, the world we live in, making a little extra money is helpful for one's life. So Can't guarantee that we can do that, but we're working toward being a lot better at it for sure. All right, my time is up. I got to focus. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That girl is a runner. She was born to get away. Hear that two-tone humming, headed out to the highway. I should have seen it coming through the years left in the dust. But after all the lessons learned, it would end the both of us. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave. In the summer, man, it feels like yesterday, when she was looking out that window on the bus to second grade. The first step she'd ever take, the first cut from a heartbreak. Been through it all, but now it's time to go our separate ways. There's a first for everything, like a hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my whole world become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave. There's a first for everything, like her hand holding mine. Now I'm left here with the pain from her I love you goodbye. And though it hurts to watch my baby girl become the woman she would be, the thing that I forgot would set her free. I taught her how to leave.
So yeah, the conditions I would say right now are ideal for my strategy. This is and I'm just doing small stuff, but boy, this is great. just so you get an idea about the stop loss part of it. When I first got in, so the strike price is 171. When I first got in, it was my stop loss was 190. If it got to 190, I had to sell. Um, Later on, as the price went up, my stop loss went up. So by the end, I was at 220 was my, I'm done. And then it got to a point where it was 99.5, and I'm like, there's no reason to like hang out here anymore. Like, I'm good. And so, done. I'm not going to hang on here for 2 more cents. Just doesn't, no need. I already got a good win. So, yeah, we're just kind of racking up the small change, finding change in the cushions and getting ready to go to Cabo. Let's see. Okay, so those disconnections from Starlink are becoming a little less often, but that was a pretty big one. So I've got the dish in a better spot. Hopefully, those will become pretty rare. It'll still probably happen. I'm still kind of in the forest and don't have a full view of the sky, so Starlink can sometimes struggle a little bit. But yeah, looking forward to hearing how the strategy goes for you tomorrow when you join me for some trading. But yeah, man, this is ideal conditions. Kind of just slowly moving away, slowly moving away from the strike point. Like, fantastic. And yeah, gives me enough time to get in, and even if I'm just getting in at 90 cents, based on my bankroll, I'm only doing 2.5%, and so that equals 5 contracts. But there will come a time, there will come a day when it's more than 5 contracts is 2.5%. But I just got to be patient and wait for that to come organically. I can't force. I just find if I force the issue, I pay the price, and I actually slow my progress down by trying to rush the progress. So it's kind of a lesson in just being patient and letting the thing come to you. So, but yeah, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Love having everybody here, and yeah, tell me where you're from. If you're new to the lives, introduce yourself, say hello. I always appreciate it if people can give a like to the stream and maybe hit some emojis. But we'd love to hear have you introduce yourself if you're new. A lot of nice people in this community, and yeah, we'd love to have some more nice people that want to learn and be part of learning more about trading and being good at especially this particular market on Kalshi, the BTC 15. Um, and by the way, if we ever switch over to BTC 5, I'll be the first one to go. Yeah, they have BTC 5 minutes on Polymarket, the international version, but Polymarket is not at this moment allowed to do crypto. They're not licensed to do crypto in the United States on their platform to do this kind of market on their platform. So it'll come eventually. Well, you know, we're just in the beginning stages of these predictive markets. I think they are. I think actually they're going to probably hurt crypto because this is a lot more I mean, this is kind of what crypto used to be, right? A lot of fun and like, whoa, look how much it's going up and like what, it's the crypto of the current time, and it's just kind of ironic that we're trading crypto but not owning, you know what I mean? We're not owning any of this crypto, which is great because every time it drops, I'm like, great, I don't care. And I've been following crypto for like only a year, but the entire year I've been following crypto. I've just watched it go down, down, down. It's finally starting to like bottom out and start to, think about, I think, rebounding, but it started at 125 when I got involved, and I just watched it go down to 100 and then 80 and then 70 and then 60. I was like, whoa, dude. So I tried crypto for a while, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. And predictive markets have been, I love this. I think it's so great. Um, I think it's a great opportunity to trade, um, well, to develop a strategy and trade it. And, I love the fact that they have an API, Kalshi does. And with AI and that API for both Coinbase and Kalshi have an API that the bots can talk to and grab information. So it's amazing what we can do right now. I was amazed that I was able to program a trading bot that did everything I wanted it to do, and if it was making a mistake, it was because of something we did in the programming. But we were able to fix that, and like it's amazing to be able to create something like that. 10 years ago, you would have needed a degree, in computer science to have any chance at doing something like that. So I know AI has its major drawbacks, but man, I have to say, it's been very fun to feel that, to be able to have that kind of power to create something like that. It's pretty amazing. Let me see what Serge is saying here. But I think that's why they made it 15, a longer time period for the market to move and people to make bad decisions. Yeah. I will keep in mind Kalshi doesn't care if you win or lose. They actually honestly, they actually prefer that you win because they're not the house. They don't get money if you win or lose. It's not like a sports book that, keeps a percentage of it. That's not how this works. They make their money on fees. So, they just want you to trade. And actually, if you win, you trade more. It's just the fact that you're up against a lot of bots that are way faster than you are. So it seems like it's stacked against you, but even though they're bots, you're trading against other people. You're not trading against Kalshi. So Kalshi doesn't have any interest in making it harder for you. They really don't. Um, Now I don't quite know how the combos work, how that all works out. I haven't looked into that. If you like win 4 of them but lose 1, does Kalshi keep? I don't know how that works. So, but that would be the only place that I'm aware of that Kalshi makes money besides the fees for trading. So I think it's just important to keep that in mind. This is a different beast than a sports book, a casino, even, well, I mean, it's more like Charles Schwab. It's more like a trading thing where you're paying a fee for the trades. But this fee is pretty low that we're dealing with here. Usually less than a penny per contract or somewhere around there. So, and if you get good at limit orders, you don't have to pay any fees. Um, I'm getting more and more where I just accept the fee as a price of getting placed. And that's why you may see me bidding. I'm sometimes bidding at 99 cents, even though the price is 82 or whatever. And I'm doing that the same way I'm doing my stop loss. I'm bidding at 99, so I get placed at the best price available below 99. Um, so that's something I've only recently kind of gone to. Instead of trying to like pick it perfectly and like, oh, I'll bid 1 cent below where the current is and maybe it'll bounce back to me. I'm more like I'm just going to pay the fee. I'm going to get placed, and then I'm going to do my stop loss at or my take profit at a certain place. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of I use limit orders sometimes to try to get no fees, but for me, it's more like being in control of, the stop loss, the take profit, all that is a little bit more under my control. Yeah, yeah. The prediction markets are different. They're a different beast. They're like, um, and it's a big deal because when you do sports betting, all those odds are like against you, like just slightly, but they're slightly against you, so the house makes money. Casinos are the same way, like, um, yeah, it's designed for you to lose money. Like, this is not like that. If you lose money, it's because you made bad decisions. Like, it's, but there is no inherent house edge. There's no, so to me, that makes this way more appealing. And I don't mind paying Kalshi the fees if I know I'm going to make more than that. If I'm going to make more than that, and they guarantee that I'm going to get placed, it's worth it to me. I talked right through this this investment. So let me put this down and focus. So. Well, that was actually picking up pennies in front of the steamroller. Yeah, so 5 cents. I got in too late. I was talking too much, but that's all right. Um, that's part of the lives, you know. It's sharing the ideas and yeah, trying to keep it lively a little bit. Um, yes, I hope you're doing well tonight. Uh, yeah, it's been a super eventful day for me. I just went to Home Depot and it's a cliche now. It's like you hear it everywhere, but like everything is so damn expensive, bro. Like, God, I'm getting old, but I think it's just like crazy what's happening now. Like I dropped $500 at Home Depot in a heartbeat. Like it was like not even hard. Like I was like, I looked at what I got out of it. I was like, $500? Like man, but just the way it is, building it's hard to build stuff. It's so expensive. Lumber super expensive, but it's worth it. I'm building this beautiful little structure to keep myself out of the rain in the winter. I really don't. All I need is basically a roof, because it doesn't get that cold, doesn't get that hot. So I want to be able to go outside on my little patio here in the winter, smoke a cigarette, drink my coffee, look out at the forest and the rain, and yeah. So I'll be doing some lives this winter from the rainforest here in Northern California, and hopefully I can get this structure done before the rain starts. And I better get my butt moving because it starts, October, November, and it doesn't stop until May. So, but it's a beautiful day here today, and I'm noticing this is great. I think Kalshi's finally updating it, automatically rebooting to the next one, and the strike automatically comes up when it's ready. Yeah. Oh, finally. We'll see if they can keep that going. But man, that's nice. Don't have to refresh. Just automatically moves to the next one and gives you the strike. Fantastic. It's the little things in life that make me happy. Doesn't take much. So, Serge, are you in Florida? Is that right? Am I remember that correctly? I could not believe that they had the World Cup, one of the last three World Cup games. One of them was in Miami in the middle of the day. I was like, why did you choose Miami in July in the middle of the day to do a football match? Why would you? Why would that be the best place to do it at? Like, I was like, man, it must have been hot and humid and tough, man. But I'm spoiled. They were talking about at Home Depot today. They were like, "Well, we got a heat wave coming in. It's maybe like 75 degrees here right now." Like, but for us, it is a heat wave. It's almost always 70 degrees. It gets up to 75 maybe in the summer. Sometimes we get a crazy heat wave that'll move in, but it's rare. And in the winter, high of 50, low of 35, that's, and most of the time it's like, most of the time 60-40, 60-45 probably is the average here. So it's super mild, always mild, and I get super spoiled. Like I was thinking about going down to Sacramento to watch. I'm from Detroit, so I'm a Tigers fan, and they're playing the A's in Sacramento, which is probably the closest place for me to see a baseball game. The only other place would be San Francisco and Seattle would be the other two places. So I thought about doing that, but then I thought to myself, man, it's going to be hot in that valley. I really do not want to go there. Like, I'm spoiled, man. It's going to be hard to get me to go anywhere after hanging out here. Florida weather sucks. I lived in, where did I live? I went down there for a winter or two. I think it was just one. Coral Springs is where I lived, and I had a place in Fort Lauderdale, and I worked at a golf course in Coral Springs, Florida, and that was nice. It was a nice winter. You know, I'm from Michigan, so it was better than being in Michigan. You know, it was nice. I think winters there are pretty great, but summer, anytime besides like winter, no thank you. But yeah, I enjoyed being down there. I was thinking about that today. There was a radio station down there that I listened to. I don't know why. While I was in the Miami area, it's a very Latino heavy culture, and it's like a lot of the radio stations are playing salsa music and like it's just a different vibe. It's got a Latin vibe to it. And I was really digging it. And there was this one radio station I listened to I really liked. It was, and I'll do it for you now. 98.3, siempre salsa y merengue. And it sticks with me to this day. Like I'll always have that in my head. 98.3. I didn't go to the games, but Miami is worse from where I stay at. I visited once, and it was horrible. Yeah. I didn't like it. It was too much traffic and too many people. Alvin, welcome. Glad you could join us. I'm live 6 to 8 hours a day, so it's going to be pretty common for me to be live. But I'm glad you found me. Yeah, I'm Colombian myself. I was born in Cali, Colombia, and my mom brought us over. Oh, cool. I'm sub right now. Let's get rich together, man. Absolutely, Alvin. Or Avlin. Avlin will do it. Here's our motto. Slowly but surely. Wiser and wealthier. And that's the motto here is methodical, picking up easy wins, slowly but surely, passing on the risky positions. And I will tell you right now, for my strategy, these conditions are very good. This is the best it's been in like over a week. What's happening right now is kind of like ideal. Where it's moving slowly but steadily in one direction. And then slowly and steadily back in the other direction. That is absolutely ideal for my strategy. So you're at a good time here. You should add that to the description of the stream. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's good. Yeah. I'll put it on the thumbnail too. And it's good for life, Good for life in general. I agree with you 100%. Most people want now and quick, but slow and safe and steady is the way to go. Let's go. Absolutely, man. Well, if you have any questions, let me know. I try to put it all out there in my videos. I'm going to do another one with this strategy in particular, hopefully tomorrow. But I put the basic idea of the strategy on the screen, but if you have particular questions, go ahead and ask, because if you're asking, you're helping somebody else in the stream who wants to ask but isn't doing it. So feel free to ask any questions. You're helping not only me provide a better stream, but also somebody else in the audience to learn something they didn't know. So it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds. It's time for me to go into trading mode. I will see you after this market is done.
Another day, another break in the promise was always a pattern of mine. It's the way that I learned that the game it was only a matter of time. And I pray that I don't have to pay for it yet, but I'm willing to gamble on a bet. I'm willing to forgive and forget. Say one thing to me and another and swear it's over the best. Cut all the toxic people telling me to give it a rest. I'm not too sensitive, you just don't have a heart. But I continue to enter the ringer while I'm falling apart. It's a habit I wanna break, like a thieving bandit is on display. And you pull me in and I can't look away. Nothing matters, it's a pattern. Oh well, didn't mean to do it again, but I wasted my time. What the hell? Am I laughing or crying or am I tiptoeing the line? So bad, didn't learn to be better and standing up for myself. Just telling people to go fuck themselves. Oh, it's a habit I wanna break, like a thieving bandit is on display. And you pull me in and I can't look away. Nothing matters, it's a pattern. Oh, it's a habit I wanna break, like a thieving bandit is on display. And you pull me in and I can't look away. Nothing matters. don't know if I can find my way out. I'm stuck in a prison of doubt. In this toy shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe, and nobody is watching at night. Who wanna rise up? Need a friend to shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this tiny shell, and everything is growing up tight. There's no room to breathe. Fall into the ocean.
All right, so that was a bit of a setback, but I did my stop loss. I stuck to my strategy, and all in all, I'm always okay, even if I lose a little bit of money on something. If the market reverses on me, goes in the other direction within the last 5 minutes, that's just not ideal conditions for my strategy. And when that happens, I do my stop loss, I get out, and I was able to get in on the other side. It was a little dicey there for a while, and I was like, ew. So anyway, that market was not ideal, but only lost 40 cents. Could have been a lot worse. So I guess you're saying how long do you think it'll take to get to 1K? Well, let's see here. So it's been 10 days. Started at, actually started at 60 because I made a bad choice on something starting off at 100. Got down to 60. So, I mean, let's just say we started at 100. Now we're at 200. So we doubled in about 10 days, over a week, not quite 2 weeks. So let's say 2 weeks, doubling every 2 weeks. So that's 400 in another 2 weeks. That's 800 in another 2 weeks. And that's over 1,000. So probably within the first 2 months of me doing these lives, I would expect to get to 1,000 if I just stick to it and do my thing. So yeah, I mean doubling your bankroll when it's small is challenging. You've got small contracts, you're getting small, like 50-cent wins. It's like it feels like it's like you get a win, you're like, yay, 25 cents, but it's like that's how you do it. And you scale up when your portfolio gets bigger. So, like, the reason you can keep that, if you can double it, you can do it again because you've already done it. It's just all you do now is you scale relative, your contracts relative to your portfolio. But you can't skip that initial stage of, you know, proving your strategy, making sure it works, um, sticking to your guns, learning from your mistakes, growing, and so yeah, I think it's very doable. It just takes patience. And like for example, probably got in too early on that last one. So as patient as I'm being, it could be even a little bit better. So it's all good. Everything's a learning experience, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. What I'm real happy, my big growth point, the place where I'm growing the most is stop loss. Of just being realizing that doesn't mean the market is over. It just means I'm out of that position. I'm not going to hold that position anymore. Um, and I'm getting much better at that. When it hits the number that I've said to myself, if it crosses that number, I'm out. Like it's too dangerous after that point. So I'm getting better at that. I can always get a little bit better, um, but I'm real happy with my progress on not holding too long. Like if I don't have the advantage anymore, I'm out. What I need to work on tonight is just being a little bit more patient. Um, like right now, you can be like, "Oh, it's 91.4 already." Like, get in, get in. Like it's going to be late, too late. It's like, no, that's fine. If it crosses, let me see what the price is here. I still want to be really disciplined about like 730 is the first time I would ever do anything. Even if it's at 97 cents. Uh, I want to get better also at just placing that bet at 97 cents if like that's where we're at, and that's as good as it may get. Um, Taking all small wins, like because they add up over time. So, but yeah, this is one where it's tricky. We're over 100 away, looking real strong for the up. But I always say to myself, look, this market's only been open for 5.5 minutes. It's already it's gone up 120 in that time. It can go down 120. There's almost double the amount of time or time and a half left. So I'm just not in a hurry to lose money. That's like another motto of mine. I'm not in a hurry to lose money. So but these can be the hard ones, and I sometimes think, should there be a number that I have to get in no matter what? But you may notice here it's kind of stalled out a little bit, and the price hasn't really changed. So I'm not involved, and I've got no risk at this moment. And well, now the price is going to change and go up, but so this may be one that just runs away, and there's it's not worth much to get involved with. But I guess the thing I'll point out here as an educational thing is I'm watching. This is kind of what was happening last night as well. Sometimes those orders will disappear, but if you watch this order book on Coinbase, you'll see moments where a big block of bids come, like right now a little bit. A big block comes in underneath in the green. Those are bids, and if they're big blocks, they push the price up because it's hard to eat through all those contracts. But then it'll like disappear, and then the price will run down. So that's something that is pretty predictable as far as like real short-term action. I've noticed it doesn't always, but it very often does. It's kind of like the chart in that way. It gives you like kind of like a tendency. Doesn't mean it's always going to happen. But like right now, if you were to ask me, it's going to go up a little bit at this moment, I would say. Now, not so much. Like it might stay about, who knows where it's going to go at this moment. Because now all those disappeared and it can run down. So this is all like milliseconds that these things are happening. Bids are coming in, bots are taking the bids down, putting them back up, taking them down. So anyway, so yeah, I think what I'll do here is just, it's falling. Not really though. It's been the same price for like 3 minutes. So it's a safe spot, but there's not much money to be made there. I don't know. I kind of strive to get in at 94, 95 at the like highest if possible, because I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's worth the risk to get 2 cents per contract and have the possibility of 98 cents being taken away. It's just like, yeah, it's not so appealing to me. I don't feel like it's worth it. 94, 95, I can get 5 cents per contract. That's reasonable. But I don't know, two and a half, two. I'm not sure. This is a thing I'm trying to decide in my strategy. Do I bother with this? Is it like, might as well pick up these pennies that are sitting on the ground, or pass? So when you taught me about the order book, I noticed it's quite useful. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's I think it's also because I'm not 100% sure about this, but because I have programmed a bot before, I know that Coinbase has a public API. So API is like the public interface. So a member of the public can come in with their bot and like access the database. They can come in and say they can get all the information they need in real time. Kalshi has that too. Kalshi has an API. So a lot of bots, I think, because they can't use Binance because Binance is a foreign corporation, but they can use Coinbase. And I think a lot of bots are connected to Coinbase to make their decisions. So that's why that's why the Coinbase order book is on the board. I don't have that's all I have as far as like why I'm paying attention to Coinbase in particular. But it does seem to have some correlation. And you can see the order book piling up underneath, pushing the price up, and pretty thin on top, so it wants to keep pushing up. So yeah, this was I could just keep talking because this is one I'm just have no interest in being involved with. So yeah, but I think I might go into music mode just for a while because I've been talking for a while and I'm kind of tired. So if you want, throw some questions up so when I come back, or things for me to interact with in the comments. That's always helpful. I appreciate anybody that leaves a comment because it makes my job of the host a lot easier. So I'm going to take a break from talking and put it back on the 18 song loop from YouTube audio library, and I'll be back when there's something for me to talk about.
Anyway, baby, just name the time. When I'ma come through, can you get me cruising under moonlight? Top down, playing new sounds while the wind blows over it. Checking my maps, heading a stack, keep it intact. Do me a favor, girl. Can you keep it warm for me, keep it on for me like a shower? I needed to run for me, hold it down till I'm pulling up. I finally made it, girl. And I'm at the door, see you walking up to me, and you got something that's showing what's underneath. Still you expect me to make it do pleasantries, baby, I'm yours. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rub it in the hallway, no use for all the rooms. So what you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. She said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. We could catch a vibe here on this trip. I'm in your soul, you're on my head. I want you at my fingertips all night, all night. Love what you got on, but I want it all for you. We can play a song while I'm holding on to you. Rub it in the hallway, no use for all the rooms. So what you wanna do? And she told me, she said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. Well, I know how you want it to seem, but we'll watch as it all plays out. From the crest of the wave that we broke upon, and pulled you back into the sea.
So sitting here, I had an idea, and I thought I'd run it by the folks in the chat right here. What I thought about doing is, for the next few, recording the stream and attempting to do my next video in this live. So it would allow me, I'd probably have to do multiple takes of it because this, the market either didn't work for that situation or not, or I messed up. I, said things not so great, and I may be able to cut some together. I don't know, but I was thinking if you guys are up for it, would you be all right with me attempting to record? Now, the thing I don't know is if it'll cut off the live. I don't think it will. Streamlabs, it shut my live down when I tried to record, but I'm using different software now. So just give me a thumbs up, or if you're up for that. You can watch the process of me recording a video in real time. So let me know if that's good with everybody. Serge is on board. It'll also, give everybody a chance to kind of hear the... Oh, really cool. Rainbow is here and on board. Thank you, Rainbow. Appreciate that. So, yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm not going to do it on this one because I need the time to explain it all before I get into bidding. So we'll try and do it at the start of the next one. And, yeah, so I'll just keep, every new market I'll try again and try it, and it'll also give people showing up, if they're new, they'll get to hear, you know, the strategy multiple times. And maybe I'll add something in there that's new that people, you haven't heard before. So let's see, and you guys can give me feedback on how you think the recording went. So I think that'd be good, because I'm finding myself like, oh, I'm already doing 6 to 8 hours of streaming. Now I got to make a video, like, so. Part of me is like, I was sitting here thinking, well, I could just try it right now. The worst thing that happens is I press the start recording thing and the stream stops. I don't think that's going to be what happens, but if it does, I'll just restart the stream. You may have to re-find me again. But yeah, starting on the next one, I'm gonna try to record it'll be a take one of the next video for Pacific Northwest Coast off grid. So I appreciate you guys letting me do that. And yeah, but for now, let me focus in on trading this market. All right, kind of got out of there early so I could get ready to do this video here. I'm going to press start recording. If anything changes or uh, this. Oh, hey, what's up, HLG? Got two Colombians in the house. And what I'm doing right now, HLG, is I'm going to record the first take of my next video during the live here. And on the next market, I'm going to attempt to see if I can just crank it out and get it done the first time. If not, I'll keep repeating until I get it where I'm happy with it. And if anything else, it's a practice run for when I do it later. But I might be able to do it here in real time. We'll see. I'm going to press start recording, and if I disappear and the chat ends or the live ends, I'll be back. I'll restart, and you can find me again. But I think we'll be okay. We'll find out. Here we go. Okay, we are recording. And let me just get ready here. Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to do my best to try to give you a comprehensive guide to a strategy that I use very often, and I would call this high probability scalping on the Kalshi Bitcoin 15-minute markets. So the idea here is you're getting in late in the market, you're taking a high probability, something like 80 or higher, 80 cents or higher, that doesn't have a lot of time left and is far enough away from the strike that you've got some time to bail if you need to. So that's the first thing, is we're waiting to start this off. And while we're waiting to get to the 7-minute mark or so, let's talk about what we've got on the screen here. These are all the resources I use to make my decision. I do have the chart with a couple of indicators on. They're not, I don't use them a lot. It gives me a general idea of what's happening in the market, but it's not super important for this strategy. But the two indicators I have on the board are kind of like a repeat of each other. They tell the same kind of story. Bollinger Bands and RSI, Relative Strength Index. So the Bollinger Bands give an outer band on each side that gives you some idea of where there may be resistance and where the price may start either moving sideways or moving backwards. So that's helpful to know. And RSI kind of does the same thing. When it gets up to 70, that's like the top line of the Bollinger Band. When it gets down to 30, that's like the bottom line of the Bollinger Band. And the price tends to want to bounce off of those. I use all of that with a grain of salt because it doesn't always work that way. So I just use the chart to get some general idea of what's going on. I also, in the same way, I'm using the Coinbase order book, and I'm watching that to get a sense of where the orders are, where the movement is going to tend to want to go. And to read that, I think it's important to know that the more orders we have on either side of the line where the price currently is, the bigger those bars are, those horizontal bar graphs are on either side. Think of it, the bigger it is, the more it wants to push the other direction. And the thinner, the less there is on the other side, the more it wants to move up or down in that direction. Again, it's one of those things that grain of salt, because everything changes instantaneously, milliseconds, everything adjusts, and bots are bidding and they're changing the price. They're putting their bids up, taking them down. But it does give you some sense of what the intention of the market is, at least on one of the exchanges. And I tell people I use the Coinbase one because I think a lot of bots use the API, the Coinbase API, because it is publicly available real-time information that bots can use to make decisions. So those are the two things that are on the board that I use, but not that influential in my decision making about when to make a bid, where to take profit, where to do a stop loss. Let's get into what really matters here. The white box on the screen is the CF benchmarks, real-time index, the number that Kalshi uses to create this graph you're looking at on Kalshi. People will often say the graph seems to lag behind the actual price, and that is correct. But the price on Kalshi, the cost of the shares, reacts immediately to the real-time index in that white box. So that is the primary focus of determining what the price is at any given moment, not the chart over on Kalshi. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for distance away from strike. And when I say strike, that's the number to beat or the target, the strike point. And it's got to be less than 7 minutes to go, because I want time as my ally. And I want to let half of the market kind of play out with no risk involved for me. So at 7 minute mark, I'm starting to look how far away from the strike point are we, and how volatile is this market right now? I would say this market is fairly volatile. It's moving pretty fast, up and down. But we're getting some distance away from the strike point. So we've got some cushion. So around the 7 minute mark, I'll look at how far away from the strike, what's the current price on CF benchmarks, and I'll start thinking about making my bid if it's the right conditions for this. What does not work for this strategy, and there are many strategies you can use in different conditions that will work great. This strategy relies on kind of slow and steady away from the strike line. And so it doesn't have enough time to get back to the line to cross. Market conditions that are very volatile and up and down and all over the place don't work for this strategy very well. And I recommend sitting out, if you're using this strategy, those kind of markets. Also, what doesn't really work well is like when it's just really quiet, but it's only getting a little bit away from the strike. And then, basically if you look at the 15-minute chart right here and you see a bunch of crossing of the line, that's no bueno. If we look at the 1 hour, yeah, I mean, it's pretty steady, up, down, up, and kind of flat through here. So these are okay conditions, but we have to kind of focus on the 15-minute primarily and see how often are we crossing this line. Ideally, we want to start here and slowly move away from the strike. And then at 7 minutes, hopefully we've got enough room. Now, the problem here is we're getting close to 7 minutes, and we're actually getting closer to the strike. We're only 55, 45 kind of numbers. So at this point, my job is to wait. This is not ideal conditions for me for this strategy. And so if I'm using a strategy, this is a time to just wait. What I'm looking for is at this point, with this kind of volatility, we're kind of up 50, down 50. I'm looking for like at least 40 away from the strike before I even consider getting involved. And that needs to kind of be late in the game, I think, at this point. So my job right now is to wait. And a lot of this strategy is being patient and waiting for the right moment. While we're waiting, I'll just talk about sizing your bid. The way I'm doing it, I am currently getting in at either 2.5% of my bankroll or 5% of my bankroll as kind of a max. So if I'm not confident, I sit it out. If I have some confidence, but not like super sure, I'll do 5 contracts. If I'm super confident, feeling good about it, 10 contracts. But that's based on my bankroll. That's the percentage of my bankroll. So those numbers would be completely different if I had $10,000 in my portfolio. And you can scale this strategy up based on how much money you have in your bankroll. But we do want to manage that bankroll and only use an amount that we can stay alive on a bad streak of really bad losses. But one thing we're going to be able to do to mitigate that as well is sit out when the conditions aren't right. We're getting now to the point in this market where it's getting late and it's still right around the strike point. So it's not ideal, not confident at all in either direction. So a different strategy may work better in this market. So I want to be clear about that. There are multiple strategies you can use and be successful. This one does require pretty high degree of sureness that you're going to win, or at least be able to hold your position long enough to get out without a major loss. So if we do get into this, I'll show you how to do a take profit and a stop loss, make your bid, all that stuff. But for now, this is not good conditions for this strategy. So more than likely, I'm going to sit this out. That's a big part of this strategy is A, learning when to sit it out and not get involved. B is learning how to do a stop loss or take a good loss. And that can be some of the hardest work to do, but it's super important, especially for this strategy. Because if you're taking 100% losses and getting in at 85 cents per share, you got to win a lot to make that up, right? But if you have a stop loss, you're making sure you don't get, you keep at least half of your investment. Then this strategy becomes much more likely to be profitable. And in the last 10 days, using only this strategy, sometimes being human and making mistakes and not sticking to it, but mostly 90% of the time using this strategy, I've doubled my bankroll and a little bit more. So this can work. It does require a lot of patience. And let's take a look now and see 382. 382, I see it dropped right back down to 360. Yeah, I really don't have an interest in this one. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm going to skip this market, when it gets down to the end, and I consider the end the last 2 minutes, if it's still too close with 2 minutes to go, I'm done. Because at the end, it gets very difficult to retrieve your investment if it goes in the wrong direction, because the price will flip so fast and will lose its value so fast if it flips that it makes the whole thing very dangerous and not worthwhile being a part of. So what I'll do here is I'm going to take a break, come back when I do have a position to do on another market, and I'm going to show you how to make the bid with this strategy, how to do a take profit, and how to do a stop loss. And that will give us the complete guide to how to use this strategy. So I'll be back on the next one. I thought that went pretty good. What do you guys think? I was happy with that. I think I got everything, all the information I wanted to get out. And then all I need to do now is make a trade and show how to do that. So I think that was pretty good. Yeah, tell me what you think. We have a ton of people in the room now. But basically what we were doing there, folks, was recording the next video. Thank you, HLG. I appreciate it. So I just recorded basically the next video that's going up on the channel, which is kind of a comprehensive strategy of the strategy that I'm using right now, which I guess we'd call high probability scalping. So waiting until the end of the market, waiting until time is your ally, having enough distance away from the strike that you've got some cushion, and getting in at like somewhere between 80 and 94, somewhere in there, and trying to get 5, 10, 15 cents of profit. So the only thing remaining for that video is to actually execute a trade, because this last one, I think it was helpful to show when not to do a trade for the comprehensive guide to the strategy as well. So that may have worked out really well. And now all I need to do is just wait for the right market to actually demonstrate how to do it. So worked out well because, well, yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you giving me the thumbs up to do that in the live. Just saved me a bunch of saved me a bunch of energy. I don't even think I'm gonna have to do much editing on that one. It was I was able to keep it all, pretty concise within that 15-minute window. So, and I don't think I left anything out. If you can think of anything that was missing from that description that should be added, besides the execution of, making the bid, take profit, and stop loss, let me know, and I can kind of work it in there during the trade that I do next. But yeah, all in all, I was pretty happy with that. That sounded like I know what I was talking about. So maybe how to set up the indicators. Oh yeah. I may do that just in another video, just because on this strategy, and I said that in my description, that the chart is not that important to me in this strategy. Maybe I'll do that at another time, and especially if we come up with another strategy that we find to be effective for the choppy market conditions where it's crossing the line, or it's really volatile. Maybe I'll work that in, but maybe I'll just do a video just on charts, a video just on order books, so people can find information in smaller chunks, shorter videos that are just smaller chunks. And then I can go through and show people how to, if you don't know, this is on CoinMarketCap, but there usually be an indicator button on any of the sites that use this, and you just kind of find the one you're looking for. And I've got my two starred, so they're at the top, and I can click on them or click off of them, and they'll either disappear or show up. But yeah, I can definitely do that in another video. I don't know that I appreciate that suggestion, because that is another piece of the puzzle. And I could, if I do the order book, I can kind of go through tape surf and what settings I use on that. Yeah, I got to do the take profit stop loss on a real time trade so that I can talk through the whole thing. But that's the only thing that's, I think, missing. It's a whole different video. Yeah, and I don't know. YouTube really wants me to do vertical streaming, or at least they promote vertical streams a lot more because they're trying to compete with TikTok and all that, and they want to have vertical content. And so they basically keep telling me, do at least one vertical stream per week. You're going to get like 30% more interaction. So I probably will do that. And then when I do that, all I'm going to have on the screen is no charts, no order books, just Kalshi and the CF benchmarks number. And that's it. And I think that would be a good video as well, just later on to just make I could just call that the simple version, the bare bones version of doing this, because there are times where I think, the order book and the chart sometimes makes it worse. Like, if I just focus on the price and the time left, that's all I really need. So it can help you anticipate a move, but I don't know. The price on Kalshi reacts instantaneously to what changes. So if I'm looking at and that's what I do. I'm like death stare at the at the CF benchmarks number, the white box, while the order, and I've got the cursor right by the stop loss button, and basically I'm ready to like press in an instant, especially as the price gets closer to my number. I'm like hovering, ready to press like as soon as I see it cross that line. So that's basically what the bot is doing as well, So I'm just trying to emulate as best I can what a bot would do in real time. So let's see. This may be one that we can do an example on. Let's see. 70 away is pretty decent and moving farther. So it's going to be a small profit if I do get in, but let's hold on a little bit more. That's true. It's more uncertain information. Well, some people have already heard this 2 or 3 times, but like, I got involved in a long, about 4 hour, like just saga with this market from midnight to 4 a.m. last night, where the chart was telling me, okay, it's outside the Bollinger Bands. It's 75 on the RSI. It's way off the charts. This has to go down. It's going down any minute. And then 2.5 hours later, it's still going up, and it's like, oh my God. I'm just like beating my head against the wall, and like, am I going to lose the whole bankroll on this thing? And that's kind of the moment where I was like, I don't need to get into this, go big and double down and triple down and do a martingale when the chart says, nah, I just just do the numbers, and keep racking up the small wins and limiting the losses, and that's the strategy. It doesn't need anything else on it. And when I add things on it, it gets complicated and it gets risky. So, all right, let me get in. I'm going to do recording mode. All right, so we've got a decent example of a market we can get in on. We're underneath the 7-minute mark, just barely. We've got 346, so it's a $30 spread. It's not great, but for the sake of showing you how it's done, let's get in on this and hope that the powers that be are on our side this evening. All right, so we're going to do 5 shares. That's going to be 2.5% of my bankroll. And this is going to be the part that's maybe a little counterintuitive for you. Even though the price is $74.73, the moment I decide to get in, see I've got it at 99, it's just going to give me the best price, and it's going to be below 99. So you see it won't give me a price at 99. It'll give me whatever, the current ask is plus Kalshi fees. So we're at 326 now. We're 50 away. This is when it's getting real sure. I probably, while I was talking, should have bid. But anyway, let's get in now. We're going to get like 90.63 cents. Immediately, we're going to sell. So I go over here, press sell. And now here we are in the sell portion of the screen. We've got our 5 shares. In a situation like this, I'm just going to do 99.9. That allows me to get out if it's a sure thing, and the only thing I'm sacrificing is 0.1 cent at the end. So you can see this is just 46 cents profit, but hey, a win is a win, and as you scale up, that can get bigger. All right, so now we've got the sale on the board. So it's already up there. 99.9 is ready to go. It's right here. It's on this clock right here. I'm going to click on the clock and immediately change this to 1 cent. Okay, now, before we do that, let's go over and look what the strike is, what the target number is. 376 is the number. So now I go over and look at where we are, 320, and we've got 4.5 minutes to go. We're looking good, but we have to pick a price over here on the white box where we would get out. So I'm going to say right now, if the price gets to 350, so 66,350, I've got to sell. Okay? So just like we did when we were buying at 99, now we're selling at 1, and the system does the same thing. It doesn't sell at 1. You're telling the system, I want to sell all my contracts at the best price available above 1 cent. All right, so you'll see if we do this, and I'll make sure we do it, even if we don't get to 350, just to show you that it does in fact give you the best price available at that time. And let's do that right now because we're at 98. We're going to get most of our profit. And there we go. So 38 cents profit, we sold at like 98 instead of 99.9. There's the complete guide, how to do everything in this system. It works for me, but I do spend a lot of time, and I'm very patient and wait for the right circumstances for this strategy to work. I'm live every day from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. or so, Pacific time. I'm in California. And I take a break in the middle of the day and I come back in the evenings. So I'm usually on between 8 and midnight Pacific time every day. So if you want to come over and hang out, be a part of the community, meet some new people, talk about strategies, and hopefully we can come together slowly but surely, become wiser and wealthier together. We'll see you next time. All right. All right. I think we did it, dude. I think we did it. Video complete. Yeah, I think that's pretty comprehensive. I think yeah, that'll do. So So yeah, I'm going to take a little break because that was a lot for me to. That was a lot. I'm going to give you guys some music and chat amongst yourselves, get to know each other. We got 2 Colombians in the room, so that's always a good thing. Love to have Colombia representing, and yeah, I'll be back here in a little bit. I'm going to say hello to my cat and feed her, and yeah, just decompress from a video shoot. So thanks for being the audience for that. It's a little bit easier to do the video with an audience because I don't know, you just feel supported a little bit more. So anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back soon.
Need a friend to shake me out again. I don't know if I can find my way out. In this time. And everything is gone uptight. Fall into the ocean. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching in. The water is rising over me. The water is rising. I'm reaching. It's coming. I'm reaching. Water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. It's coming in. Water is rising over me. I'm reaching out, I'm reaching. It's coming.
You say you need your space, then pull me close. I read your silence, louder than most. One day you're warm, the next day you're cold. Got me second guessing what I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. You open up just to close the door. I stay up late, trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind, but your love got rules that change all the time. Why are you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want the yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why why you always halfway in? Halfway in. You hit me up when the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't your maybe, tell me what it is, 'cause I'm way too grown to be messing with a love like this. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration yours. You open up just to close the door. You stay closing doors. I stay up late trying to read your mind. I can't read your mind, but your love got rules that change all the time. Changing all the time. Why are you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want the yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in. Why you always halfway in? Got me drowning when I know I could swim. If you love me, baby, say it with your chest. Yeah, tired of the maybes, I just want the yes. Don't play me like a song on spin. If you ride for me, then ride to the end. Don't wanna love this paper thin. So why you always halfway in? Halfway in.
I did it all, I played pretend. I moved the mountains to be your friend. I wanna know if it mattered. I would have gone to war for you. I would have bent the earth in two just to get to our ever after. Something about this has changed. I wanna feel you close again. Don't let go. No, I don't want this to end. Whoa. Remember the start when you're breaking my heart again, like blood on a pen. Would it matter then when everything starts to fade? I'm back like it's yesterday.
All right, y'all, I'm back. Super happy to have gotten that video recording out of the way. That's fantastic. I was like, when am I going to do that? Done. Oh man, that's great. So yeah, I kind of missed a fairly good one. Did everybody get in on that one, or what was the deal? 1 week went from gambling to trading. Live's been helpful all the way through. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean gambling is you know, up and down roller coaster ride, and in the long term you're likely to lose. Um, and ever since I saw the videos of Warrior Trading, Ross Cameron, that whole thing, and kind of got a sense of how trading works, and how to make it not gambling. That made a big difference for me, and it was really appealing to me because I have patience. Like I'm a very patient person. Like I've been through a lot in my life and learned to just wait because things will change. It's not always going to be like this, and I've learned that the hard way, and it's become part of my being. I'm a very patient person, and so to have a strategy that matches that is great. Uh, and he was the first one to kind of really give me that, where it's like, okay, that's how you do this, and how take profit and stop loss all work and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a different game, than just what you see in the chat room on Kalshi, or the chat underneath the market, which is just everybody guessing at what's going to happen. Like this one's going to be up. This is up, y'all, for sure. Like it's like why? Like what? what makes you say that? Yeah. So getting together, talking about strategies, learning from each other. I think we're building something really cool here, and I appreciate up for up for sure, guys. No doubt. Yeah, I find that all very, very amusing. But we're coming together. We're learning how to trade. And maybe we'll expand into other things. But I really enjoy the BTC 15 just because of how often it repeats like 4 times in an hour, and yeah, there is a strategy you can use to be I wouldn't say to guarantee wins, but like if a strategy is solid long term, it has profitability with it if you execute the strategy. And that's what I'm learning and I got that from day one with Ross Cameron, was like, don't waver around, and I'm still got to watch out for that. Don't waver around trying a bunch of different strategies and wishy-washy. I'll do this, I'll do that. Find a strategy that works, stick with it, become an expert at it, like, make it everything you do. And if you do that for 6 months and you don't get anywhere, well, then reevaluate. But don't just try a bunch of different strategies all at the same time and wonder why you're not being successful. Pick one. And the other thing I got from him, which was really helpful, was learning how to take a good loss. And, I'm still working on it. I'm getting a lot better on it in the last 2 weeks. And I think that's why I'm profitable, because I've gotten better at doing a stop loss, and I don't stay in markets where I lose my advantage. And that's huge, especially for my strategy. That's huge. So how's it been? It's been, I'd say, pretty good tonight. I mean, my numbers aren't great, but We recorded a video in this live, so the next video has already been done, so that's great. And we've had mostly wins, at least, and the conditions are good for this strategy right now. So, yeah, I'd say all in all, pretty good today. My numbers are inflated from a late night battle that ended up in my favor, but was a brutal. I want to avoid those in the future, basically. I don't want to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like praying for it to go down to get out of this chaos. That was last night. So don't want to do that anymore. Even if you do end up 30%, you're like, oh, God dang, that wasn't worth it, man. And so, what are you seeing, Serge, on the order books? They are kind of chaotic, I think, right now. But what are you seeing in particular on the order books? I'm just kind of reconnecting with the stream because I needed to get some decompression. I focus pretty hard to do those videos, so to do it in one take is like, dang, nice. Yeah. They're just chaotic, like you said, moving crazy. Yeah. They are. And the numbers, let's see, 07. Oh, man. Way down. 9 minutes to go. But, yeah, there is a lot of chaos going on right now. So, yeah, we may have shifted into a more chaotic portion of the evening. Let me check the chart to see if that has anything to do with anything. Well, we are diving toward the bottom of the Bollinger Band. It's pretty much there right now. And yeah, we've been on an uptrend for a while. We kind of broke out of the 65,000 barrier, which had been there for a while, like we hadn't broken through in a while. And I really felt last night that there was some entity of some kind, or entities, really working on driving the price up. But when that happens, what goes up must come down, kind of thing. All that effort can just bring it right back down eventually. But we'll see what happens here. What happens after it touches the Bollinger Band on the bottom. Because this is 3 in a row down and pretty significantly down. And it's kind of a downtrend since last night, that fiasco last night, riding this Bollinger Band all the way up the side, like somebody buying. RSI at 82, it's like, God dang. So I wouldn't be surprised if this bounces back pretty strongly up, but we'll see. In general, I think the market is oversold or overbought. But yeah, there's not much room for me to get in here with 7 minutes to go, 97.9. So. All right, you've got a question. I love questions. Thank you so much, Corian, for this. How much should you start with, or what's the minimum you'd start with? I don't think, okay, so $10. That's fine. In that case, 20 would probably be better, but 10 is fine. But it's all about sizing your bids, your positions, your shares based on your bankroll. So how much you have. So let's say I have, in mine, I'm doing 2.5% or 5%. And if you're starting out, you can even drop that down and go, 1% or 2% or 2 or 3 or something like that. But like 1 is you're somewhat confident, and then the higher number is you're much more confident. but you got to size it based on your bankroll. I would say if you're starting out with 20, your bids I would suggest should be either one or two contracts. For to maintain your bankroll and grow it effectively, you're looking at $20 to try to get like 10-cent wins and grow slowly, because doubling is a big deal. So going from 20 to 40 is a major accomplishment. And you get there with this strategy by, um, you know, 10-cent wins, 5-cent wins, 15-cent wins, and learning how to take a stop loss that you don't lose 85 cents. So you can start with any amount. Just as your bankroll gets bigger, the number of your percentage, so your 2.5% or 5% of your bankroll, just is a bigger number. But the percentage, basically, I think should always stay the same. You should never have more than, never more than 10% of your bankroll really should be involved. And I'm saying that to myself as well, like, because lately I've been getting way too aggressive. It's like at the most 10% of your bankroll. But really what you should be doing is like methodically doing 2% to 5%, somewhere in there, and just cashing in on those little wins that get you going. Let's see. I'm going to start again with $10, but I think just starting with what you're comfortable losing. That's correct. Absolutely. Yep. You should only put what you're willing to lose. Absolutely. That's great advice. Couldn't say it better myself. Absolutely. I went from $10 to $90, then lost the $90 and been losing ever since. Well, the 10 to 90 is amazing, but I'm guessing it was a lot more aggressive strategy than what I'm presenting to you. Mine is a lot more slow and steady, much better chance of long-term growth, but requires a lot more patience and getting good at using a stop loss. So a few days ago I was trading the tennis games because they are more stable, kind of like BTC USD. I started with $26 and left with $70. Nice. Yes, the horizontal bar graph is the Coinbase order book in real time through the website TapeSurf. TapeSurf allows you to aggregate multiple exchanges, but I'm just mostly focused on Coinbase at the moment. And the main reason is a lot of bots, I think, use the Coinbase API for its decision making, but primarily they're using the CF Benchmarks real-time index. So yeah, tennis. I've been thinking about getting into tennis. The big one that is on my to-do list, and I'm going to be working with another developer to create a trading bot, is weather. And basically, every time I ask Gemini or Claude, I'm like, "Hey, Claude, if you were designing a system for Kalshi, what markets would you focus on?" And both Gemini and Claude are both like weather, immediately weather. And their argument is like, if you can train a bot to be hyper sensitive and aware to when reports are generated immediately on the ground that change, the end result on Kalshi, and the bot can react in a millisecond to that, you have a huge advantage over the market. And it happens a lot more than I thought it did. Like, because the high forecast for the day, and they have 20 different cities in America that they do, the high is like a 2-degree window. And very often, at the peak of the day, it's, let's say the high is 99.9, and it's 98 to 99 and 100 to 101 are the two competing markets. And all of a sudden on the ground, the report is generated from the National Weather Service that they just picked up a small spike to 100.1. Well, if you can get that right away, I mean, you're racing. All the other bots are going to try to do the same thing, but like, if you can like train a bot to like watch the local forecasts around the weather station where the monitoring takes place, and you can get really good at getting it to react super fast and change bids and all that stuff. I think there's a lot of potential there. It's just going to be a winter project for me because I spent 3 months on a bot already this year, and it does take a lot of energy, and I want to wait until I'm not outside every day building stuff and all that. So, but yeah, trading bot programming is another fascination of mine that I enjoy. I have a free $50 bonus on Polymarket. I need a guaranteed sports bet. You know, the nice thing about that $50, I got the same thing. I got that $50 bonus from Polymarket just for signing up. I think you have to deposit 20, they give you 50. And that's basically what I did. I just did I did Norway in this one game, and it was the game they ended up losing. But I just did a take profit on it and got out. But I went all in. I'm doing it kind of different on Polymarket. I'm doing the same thing you're thinking of doing. Just pick something and try to double your money, because it's like free money. You know, they just gave it to you. So yeah, I was doing the same thing on Polymarket. But now I'm like just leaving that money alone and just waiting for the crypto market to come back on Polymarket, to be certified or allowed on Polymarket, because then I'll do that as well. But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Find something sports thing to bet on with your free $50 on Polymarket and see what happens. What's going on with you? Get away from me. My cat is being weird. She's normally super lovey, and she's been like super aggressive to me like in the last couple of days. I'm like, what is going on with you? So I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's not feeling good. I don't know. But yeah, she's normally totally lovey-dovey, and now she's like, I don't know, moody. But yeah, if anybody has a good pick on Polymarket, let Corian and I know, because we're just throw our $50 at it and see what happens. But I don't know. The other thing I would do on Polymarket is kind of use the same strategy with sports, and I may start doing that a little bit more. Maybe get into tennis and try that. I've been looking at cricket games and thinking about getting involved in those. Kind of like a chance to learn a new sport and like, how does this work and what's going on, and because I like all kinds of different things. I've really gotten into sumo wrestling in Japan lately, last couple years, and I watch them every basho, which happens every other month. They do 6 a year. Is an event, 15-day event, and it's like, I'm in, man. I'm watching it all. Like, so I don't know. I like niche stuff. I like disc golf and stuff like that. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. The one I don't understand, and I guess I would need to look into, is I guess people are playing video games. Like, there's professional video game teams playing against each other in leagues and stuff, and you can bet on that on Polymarket and on Kalshi as well. And I don't know anything about that. But sometimes I think it doesn't matter. Like the market is pretty efficient at pricing. If you find an 85 to 95 cent bid, thing, same idea. Get in at 85, set a take profit for 95 or whatever, and then have a stop loss if it hits 55 or something like that. So, I mean, I think what we're doing here can be applied to anything. It's the basic idea of high probability, and that's the key for me in prediction markets is you've got a time decay that goes to either 100 or 0. And so time and knowing that it's that definitive of like 100 or 0 is the key. And waiting until late and scalping those high probability picks, I think those high probability numbers are what separate prediction markets from other markets as an opportunity for me. Let's see. I actually just lost, let me see what this says. I actually just lost my bankroll on Kalshi to sports doing the scalping method. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. I've been struggling. I struggled with weather with the scalping method. That was no good, and that's I think why AI was like you should have a bot trading that. What I do for sports is over under, and I choose before the event even begins. I find the over under number that's like trading at on the very far edge, the biggest side, the most farthest away from what the average is. And I buy that. And that's usually 85 cents, 80 to 85, sometimes 90. And same kind of thing. That works pretty well for me. I was somewhat profitable on the NBA doing under over. But yeah, sports are tough because it's human beings and it's unpredictable and somebody could get hurt and like changes everything. So let's see. Cash out up or no? Oh, might have been a little late for your answer there. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know where you got in at or anything like that, Frankie, so I'm not sure. That's why I did tennis. The matches are slow. Sometimes Kalshi will have them live too. Yes. That's what I really like. And I saw one of those tennis matches. I maybe was doing it on a live, and they had the video of the match going on in like Asia or wherever it was. And I was like, oh, this is great to have the video of the event going on while you're trading in the same space. I think that's really great, and maybe the future of sports, sports investments. So, yeah, I may try to get into tennis a little bit more. I do like that there's sometimes video connected to the actual market. That's really cool, and that's why I like the smaller stuff. Like, I would love if Kalshi would get into disc golf because I know way too much about disc golf. But like, but yeah, those niche things that like don't have the big network agreements that they can't televise, just so you can watch something is like way more fun. And I'm off grid, so I don't have cable or any of that stuff. So to watch a tennis match live while you're wagering on it is pretty cool. So maybe you're talking me into it, Serge. I might give it a shot. Try some tennis. Okay, we're past the 7:30 mark and I'm still talking, so I got to go into trading mode. I'll be back.
porch light burn uneven. Let the shadows play. Yeah, the porch light burn uneven. Keep the night from drifting away. If this ain't heaven, it'll do for today. Times like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you could take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on. And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
All right, so that is my favorite kind of market right there. Just you get in, and then it just keeps moving farther away and doesn't really make any aggressive moves backwards. That's ideal. We do love that. So another pretty easy win, just 50 cents, piling them up. stacking them up slowly but surely, wiser and wealthier. So yeah, on that one, I think I had my stop loss at 66 even at first when I first got in, and then it started really moving away, and so I kept rising, lowering it, and so at the end I was like 65 970. If it crossed 970, I was out, and it never did, and so winner winner chicken dinner. Do you know of William Bill Cooper? Your voice kind of reminds me of his. No, I don't know who that is. William Bill Cooper. What does he do? Is he a podcast guy or something like that, or radio or what? I feel like I got a decent radio voice. Got the dulcet bass tones. But that's why my music is it's unusual for a bass lead vocalist. So my music, I am a recording artist, and my music is kind of an acquired taste. But yeah, it's a bass lead vocalist, so that's kind of unusual. Um, but yeah, I embrace who I am. But I've had a lot of people say in my life, "Your voice is so relaxing to me." I'm like, "Well, good, great." I love to hear it. He had a radio show a while ago. Yeah, probably why I listened to his old recording. They were usually about conspiracies or esoteric knowledge. Okay, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. Actually, now that you mention it, I kind of can see that guy. Did he have a mustache? He might have. But anyway, I sometimes go down those YouTube rabbit holes of ancient aliens and all that good stuff just because it's entertaining to me. I don't know. I don't know the answer to anything. I do think that reality is a lot more weird than we think it is. Like, I always hold on to this one thing that I heard somebody say at one point, and it is, if history is any guide, about 90% of the things that we think are completely true and accurate about the universe and reality are most likely incorrect or incomplete, based on history, because that's how it's been most of the way through history. And I always keep that in mind, that I'm kind of like agnostic about everything. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I know there's some really interesting stuff happening. I don't know what's causing it or what. But I'm okay with the mystery of it. I don't have to know the reason, but I do enjoy theories about the reason of what's going on. And those kind of conspiracy shows can be kind of fun to engage with. All right, so overall, it's been a good day for me. Real solid. Like, these markets are behaving. This is kind of like the good zone for me. This, what you're seeing right now, moving away from the strike toward the 7 minute mark, and just kind of keep moving away after the 7 minute mark. That's and just kind of slow and steady. It's got to have some movement, and if it's slow and steady, like this kind of line that's kind of slowly sloping down, that's prime time for me. So this one again is looking promising. We are on the downtrend. Let me check at this chart right here. I didn't even think about where are we at this chart, because oh yeah, Yeah, we're off the Bollinger Band. Kalshi let me know my trade from 7 minutes ago went through. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, RSI is 32.42, so really low. But it's been doing this for the last few days. Instead of just hitting it and bouncing off of it, it's kind of been riding up the side of the Bollinger Band. It did that right here earlier today on the way up. It slid up, and it's kind of doing that right now, sliding down on the edge of the Bollinger Band. So to me, that indicates a pretty strong downtrend, which honestly, folks, makes total sense to me. I felt like this market was overbought for a few days now. I'm like, I don't know why it's so high right now. So I don't know. I imagine that some people are getting impatient with Bitcoin. You know, for a long time it was like, oh, Bitcoin's going to be $1 million by the end of 2027. You know, like, and for a lot of people, this bear market has been going on for a long time. So I'm sure there are entities involved in the holdings of these assets that are like, I think we need to start stimulating this thing. It's it's been in the doldrums for too long. Oh, can I explain RSI? Relative Strength Index. Honestly, it just functions almost exactly like Bollinger Bands. See this peak right here? The most recent peak that got near the top? Well, you see it got at the top of the Bollinger Band as well. So basically the equivalent of on RSI, the strength of the market, the equivalent of the Bollinger Band is about 70. That's the point where it feels resistance in a kind of a neutral market when there's not major buying influence or major selling influence happening. That's the indicator that it's likely to reverse in the other direction because it's overbought. It's been driven up in price. It's over for the relative positioning. It's over its expected position at the moment. And so the midline, which is 50 on RSI, kind of is equivalent basically to this red line on Bollinger Bands, the midline. That's kind of the midpoint. It's just kind of neutral, like it doesn't really indicate either direction or any movement is coming. And 30 is like the lower Bollinger Band, where the price is going to tend to want to bounce back up off of. But again, this is all that's normal conditions and doesn't take into consideration when some rich person or some major corporation decides they're going to either, you know, boost the price or liquidate and get their profits at a given time. You know, some would call what's happening right at the moment, what do they call it? Liquidation. Somebody in the chat's going to help me. But when it moves down and kind of dips down below the Bollinger Band, and people are getting out and they're liquidating their assets, right? And then when they do that, that kind of, when that's done, and somebody may have said it, RSI and Bollinger Bands. Once that liquidity sweep, once the liquidity sweep is done, which is when it drops down, everybody's sold out of their position. They made their money because they got in earlier at a lower price, or whatever. But they've liquidated their assets. That's when the market starts to bounce back and people, okay, the price is now low relative to where it's been. So now people start thinking, okay, it's a good price for me to get in at. There's some room for me to make some profits on this now. So, you know, if you're buying Bitcoin, this is what you're looking for when you're buying, right? You're like waiting for a dip down into low RSI, lower than the Bollinger Band. You're looking for a liquidity sweep to be done. And when that's done, the market will tend to bounce back. We just don't know if this liquidity sweep is done yet. That's why a lot of people who teach trading teach that you have to confirm the bounce back. So you wouldn't buy right now because you're not sure if this down is done yet. You know what I mean? Like you haven't seen any proof that we're done. People are done selling yet. And since the market has been at 60, it was recently down at 59 and 60 and 61. There are plenty of people that can make a bit of money selling right now. So that's why we get this downtrend, especially off like a 24-hour period that was really overbought, like off the charts, you know. If we scroll back, let me see if I can find it. See this? this nonsense right here. So yeah, this is last night. This is this is that just appalling. When is it going to stop? And it stopped finally, like right there. But I got out and went to sleep, and it didn't stop. It kept going. So anyway, that's why, you know, when you're as a trader, you're waiting for confirmation that something's real. All right. Actually, I might think about getting in on this. We'll see. So I'll be back here momentarily. And that will be a negative. No, thank you. That was way too close, so I'm not interested in that. There was a moment where I was like, well, if it drops like another 10 or maybe. But yeah, once it crosses 2 minutes and it's right at the, you know, the strike point, I'm like, no, no thanks. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, so Bollinger Bands, just if you're interested in knowing how it's spelled, it's Bollinger, Bollinger Bands. I think it's a guy's name who came up with the idea, but yeah, Bollinger Bands and RSI. For me, the two indicators that are, you know, I've seen be pretty effective and giving me a general idea of like where the guardrails of the market are, like where, you know, and when like the market is really oversold or overbought. Oversold is when it's red and going below the line that means people are selling out. They're getting out. They're liquidating. They're leaving the market. And when that happens too much, the price drops, and now buyers are interested. They're like, time to buy. And then the other overbought is the price is too high. It's relative to what's going on recently. It's too inflated. It's overbought, and there's no real value for more buyers to get in because they know it's overbought. And that's the thing. We're all working with also a shared language of how to interpret the markets, and everybody's using those indicators. Everybody's using, that information. And so some of it is also self-fulfilling prophecies of just like, why would I buy right now when it's overbought? Like, be a terrible time for me to buy right now. So anyway, I do need to turn on my generator because my batteries are dying. So I will be right back. I was thinking to myself earlier today, I've been really running my batteries. I've been like using my technology a lot and my Starlink and all that. I wonder how my batteries are doing. I probably should check. Well, they inform me that they need help. So if you hear a buzzing in the background, the generator needed to be included in the live stream tonight. That's correct. That's the correct spelling of Bollinger. So yeah, I think I'll do. Kind of getting late here, and it's been a full day, long day for me with a late night adventure last night. So I think I'll do a couple more. I'll do until 11:30 Pacific time, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. So let's see if we can get a couple wins to finish it off. But yeah, I appreciate all of you who have spent all this time, and hey, whoever's hitting those emojis and showing your support. I appreciate. It's a great community. We've only been doing this for 2 weeks, but I've already got such wonderful people that are hanging out with me, and that honestly makes doing this a joy. I really enjoy it. So thank you to all of you who are hanging out and supporting me and creating a community with me. So I appreciate you, and I want to thank you tonight. I'm going to check and see where the subscribers are. 287. Wow. Amazing. It's growing so fast. And I think, I think we have good information to pass on to folks, so that helps. I think we going live 6 to 8 hours provides a lot of opportunity for people to find us doing this, so that's good. So we got a lot of things to our advantage for growing fairly quickly. 287, bro. Nice. I'm told at 1,000 I can start earning income. I don't know, from YouTube. Whatever. That'd be great, but more than anything, just hanging out. I'll make my own money doing this, so It's fine. It'd be a nice. I'll just be able to add more into my Kalshi account if that happens. So, um, one thing I did want to throw out there, I since I brought up the 1,000 subscribers, I am planning a 1,000 subscriber celebration. And what I have in mind is that for that celebration, it'll be all day. It'll be a 8 hour, normal day. And so noon to 4, 8 to midnight. And for each hour, so it'll be 4 markets per person, I'm going to pick someone who's been super supportive, who is live in the chat at that moment, who's been, really helpful in creating this community. And I'm going to trade for them for that hour. And they're guaranteed to get $10 in PayPal or Venmo from me regardless. Even if I lose in that hour, they're guaranteed to at least get $10. But if they get more than that, that's what I send them for their PayPal Venmo thing. So that's the plan. That's what I'm thinking I want to do for 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully that comes in in a month or something like that, maybe faster. But I think that'll be a fun event and a good way to celebrate. I just watch all your videos. Oscar Martinez, thank you so much, man. I hope you learned some good stuff. We just recorded a new video in this live. The people who are here tonight were generous enough to support me in kind of creating a video while we were doing the live. And so that's coming out probably tomorrow. So look for that. But I hope you got some good stuff from it. I think you'll maybe get reinforced a lot of things in this next video that's coming out. That's actually a really cool concept. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm all about, sharing the love. I think it's way more fun. I like collaboration. You know what I mean? When I do music, when I record music, I record the initial me singing and me playing guitar. And then I find professional musicians, usually through Fiverr is where I go, because it's an affordable place for me to find really talented people to collaborate with. And I'll just say to a guitarist, I'll be like, hey, can I give you free reign to just add a track to this song and just add your flair to it, add your bit to it. And then I bring the drummer in. Usually I do the drummer first, but drummer and whatever instruments I, would love to have as a part of it. And it becomes kind of a magical thing because it's not just your energy, it's other people are involved and they're adding their bit. And I kind of feel that way about everything. To me, it's all a collaboration. When you guys are chatting in the chat, it is super helpful. When you're hitting emojis, super helpful. You can't build a community without people who are collaborating with you, and I appreciate all of you. Let me see here. At what time are you planning? So I do lives every day from, we're talking Pacific time because I'm in California. So somewhere between noon and 1, I start the afternoon session. That goes until 4 p.m. Pacific. Then I take about a 3-4 hour break, come back around 8 p.m. Pacific, and go to about somewhere 11 or midnight, somewhere in there. Depends on how long my energy lasts. But now the format here is I talk for the first 7.5 minutes, and then I'm supposed to stop talking and trade. So I'm going to put the mic down. I'll be back very soon. All right, any guess? Does anybody have any guess of what my stop loss was on that one? Because it started off pretty close, 890. Then it dropped significantly, and so I changed my stop loss. Where do you think I decided to get out at? What was the number? I was like, I'm done. I'd be curious to see what you guys think it was. So yeah, I got in on the high percentage play of down. Got in at 90 cents. Sold when it hit my stop loss. Anybody want to guess? Of 870. So when it hit 870, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I've got some profit. I'm gonna take my little change and move on. And that's how we do things here with high probability. And now, at least for in the moment, we won on a very questionable, possibly losing position. So it looks like up might end up being the winner here. But the nice thing is I don't have to worry about such things. Yeah, that 870 was a good call. And that's so when I first got in, I got in I think the price was 65,880, something like that. It was like a 50-point spread. And so immediately I said, well, my take loss is going to be 65,920. 14 away from the strike. If it hits that, I got to sell at a loss. But then as the price goes down and down and down, I keep moving my stop loss down, down, down. And then it got to like 830, and I was like, okay, let me drop it to 870. I'll probably still be able to make a profit at that point. And it turned on 870, and I was out. As soon as I saw 870, boom, button pressed. I'm out. I got a profit, and, a potentially losing position, at the very least, a very questionable end result here. I would not want to be holding either of these. I wouldn't want to hold either of these sides right now. Who knows what's going to happen in the last 20 seconds. I mean, down, just because of the time, how long it's going to take for the average to catch up. But I don't know. It's going to be close. I would not want to be involved. So that is something to keep in mind, though, at the very end. If you're, for some reason, holding at the very end, that just because the price ends up above the line doesn't mean the average will catch up by the time running out. So, all right, last one of the night. This is the last market for this live. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and sharing all your comments and your emoji clicks and all the new subscribers. It's been a nice live. Last 2 days have been really nice. Meeting a lot of nice new people and learning a lot from each other. And I hope having some success. If you're following my strategy that I'm using tonight, I think you've had a bunch of opportunities to make some small profits and get those to add up over the evening. I will say, in general, I'm up probably just like $5 or $6 today. My numbers are skewed because I already mentioned this earlier, but I made a lot at the end of the night last night, after midnight. So my numbers look like today has been gangbusters. Today's been, fine, good, but it wasn't 31.52% increase good. It was, but it was anyway. Anyway. Yeah, as I said earlier, I got involved in a a really weird, long battle with the market late into the night last night, where I was like, "What is going on?" This is a good evening for you. I hope to catch you tomorrow's stream. Are you going to be trading tomorrow, Serge? Serge talking about getting in and giving this system a try tomorrow. He's seen it for a number of hours now in action, so it might be. He said he's going to maybe give it a try tomorrow night. So we'll see if he gets on board. If people are willing to share, I don't need to know how much money you made, but if you want to share your P&L percentage for the day, like what is your bankroll up percentage-wise today using this system on the stream, I mean, that would be cool to know. Eventually, we could start doing community leaders for the day and stuff like that. But like, I'd be curious to see if it's working for you guys. If you're seeing some good percentage increases in your bankroll today. So if anybody wants to share that here in this last market, I would love to see how you guys did today. Definitely important information for new viewers. Well, and what I'm really excited about is that video we did during this live tonight. When new people show up and they say, "What is the strategy?" You know, I can describe it, but I can also just say, "Okay, I'm going to describe it." But there's a video I just did that, I mean, is about as clean and clear of a description as I can do. So I'm excited to be able to share that with the world tomorrow because, yeah, that was good stuff. It turned out great. I hope the recording went as well as I think it did. So, yeah, if anybody wants to share their profit and loss percentage for the day, that would be cool. I'd love to see how you did using this, what I would call high probability scalping strategy. And if you made any gains tonight. I know I did. They were moderate, but I had a lot of wins and a lot of like just comfortable wins, like not stressful at the end, like really nice and mellow. Honestly, exactly what I needed after the chaos of yesterday. So I'm grateful for that. And it's been wonderful tonight to have so many people in the room. Even this late at night, we've got 11 people in the room right now. And that has so much to do with people like Serge and Rainbow from earlier and the folks that are really engaged in the chat and helping me create content that is, worthwhile to engage in as an audience member. So it's not just me. It's so helpful to have people in the room that are engaged with me and helping me have a conversation, because it's hard to have a conversation by yourself for 3 hours. It's almost impossible. So we're winding down here at the 7-minute and 30-second mark. I go silent and go into trading mode, and then I come back at the very end to kind of I'll wrap things up for the night. So again, thanks to all of you for being here. It's been wonderful to have so many cool people connect with me, and it's nice to know you enjoy hanging out with me. That's great. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So let's see. We're riding the Bollinger Band on the bottom line. We're still below it. We've been having this trend lately where it's like, riding along the side of the Bollinger Band. Happened 3 times in the last 24 hours. So a bit of a trend. Normally, in general, it bounces off the Bollinger Band. But we saw a lot of buying energy last night, and now we're seeing a lot of selling energy going on tonight. But we're getting to the point where it's time to move into trading mode. I will be back soon. Well, I was trying to get that one. I was trying to be a little, I guess, greedy, but I was trying to get that one in the 80s. It got down to 90 point something, and I almost went in, but I thought, well, maybe I'll be able to get in the 80s, and then it just kind of took off in the other direction. So, doesn't look like I'll be able to get in on this market with enough room to make a decent profit. So, probably going to sit this one out. So, it's a good point to end with Serge's comment here. I I totally agree. You know, I can't remember the last time I had a good hangout with friends. You know what I mean? We've gotten all so isolated in our little bubbles in the world, and so it's nice to share some space with you guys tonight. Um, Hang out, learn some stuff, laugh a little bit, have a little fun, and try to get a little bit more knowledgeable, and maybe even have a little bit more money in our pockets. So I want to thank all of you again for hanging out. I'll be back again tomorrow. Um, First session starts around noon or 1 Pacific time, and the evening session starts around 8 or 9, somewhere in there, Pacific time. Have a great night. Thanks again for being with me, and I will talk to you again soon. Look for that new video to come out tomorrow. If you want to like and comment and share, that would be a super big help to me. And also, just throw it out there. If you like the sound of my voice and you like kind of folky, kind of chill, folky music, you might like the music I make. I'll type my artist name in the chat, and if you want to check that out, let me write it in here. It's 7 Streams, and my music can be found on any platform. So have a great night. Thank you, Alpha. Appreciate it. But yeah, if you want to support me musically, you can do that. Listen to me wherever you listen to your music. So have a great night. We will see you again tomorrow.